Hello, this is my ECP project for ECE 285. In my project, I will just go over some components I used. I used these IC timers over here, which are 555 IC timers, as well as a switch array, a whole bunch of resistors in which I'll go into, 2 capacitors, and a LED. So for this project, we'll look at the 555 IC timer. 555 IC timer has 8 inputs. Up over here, we have our voltage source powering our IC timer, as well as it hooked up to ground in pin 1 and then voltage into pin 8. Next to this, we'll have the discharge as well as the threshold on pin 7 and pin 6. Pin 5 is not used in this circuit, as well as pin 4 not being used, which is a reset button. Over here we have pin 3, which is used as the output to the LED, as well as pin 2, which is a trigger. Here we have a push button switch. One side of the push button switch is grounded. The other side is hooked up to voltage, in which the 1K resistor is used to resist current from the power source. When this push button switch is pushed, the ground is connected to power, pushing the trigger and allowing it to run the functions of the timer. In this switch array, the switch array is connected to power, which is sent to all the rails. After the power, we have some resistors in which we press the button to indicate which resistor we would like to use. We have a 100K, we have a 510K, we have a 1 mega ohm and a 10 mega ohm resistor. Those resistors are connected then to the 7th pin, which is our discharge pin. Depending on the resistor values will be able to change the timer in which how long the LED will stay on. As we can see here, I'm connected to the first pin. The first pin will allow the timer to run an output voltage for about 3 seconds. And if I switch the timer, or if I switch the switch to the second pin and turn off the first pin, it'll allow the timer for run for about 15 seconds. There we are. Now I have a second part of my circuit. Also uses a 555 IC timer with the capacitor. I forgot to mention, but the resistor value and the capacitor value over here determine how long the timer will run for. This capacitor value is around 22 microfarads. Sorry. Over here we have essentially the same circuit over here connected to the same LED on the output, but instead of a switch array connecting to preset resistor values, we now have a potentiometer. The potentiometer allows us to switch the resistor values just by moving this around. With this potentiometer, now, it looks like we don't have this hooked up to the LED. So with this potentiometer, when we press the button here,